Hello friends, welcome to my channel Beginners Linux Guide. Today we are going to learn about parts of voice. So let's start with the video. So first point of mine is Unix, and Unix like operating system such as Linux consists of a kernel and some system programs. There are also some application programs for doing the work. The kernel is heart of the operating system. In fact, it is often mistakenly considered to be the operating system itself, but it is not. An operating system provides many more services than a plain kernel. It keeps track of files on the disk, starts programs, and runs them concurrently, assigns memory and other resources to various processes, receives packets from and sends packets to the network, and so on. The kernel does very little by itself, but it provides tools with which all services can be built. It also prevents anyone from accessing the hardware directly, forcing everyone to use the tools it provides. This way, the kernel provides some protection for users from each other. The tools provided by the kernel are used via system calls. Next point, the system programs use the tools provided by the kernel to implement the various services required from an operating system. System programs and all other programs run on top of the kernel in what is called user mode. The difference between system and application programs is one of the intent. Applications are intended for getting useful things done or for playing if it is happening for the game, whereas system programs needed to get the system working. What processor is an application, mount is system program. The difference is often somewhat blurry, however, and it is important only to compulsive categories. Now, an operating system can also contain compilers and their corresponding libraries such as GCC and the C library in a popular under Linux. Although not all programming languages need to be a part of the operating system, documentation and sometimes even games can also be a part of it. So come to the next point. Now some important parts of the kernel. One is process management, then memory management, then hardware devices, then file system drivers, network management, various other bits and pieces. I have given one figure of system kernel of Linux. This figure is taken from Google as a source. Now a bit description of it I have given also. So come to our next slide. So probably the most important parts of the kernel, nothing else works without them, are memory management and process management. Memory management takes care of assigning memory areas and swap space areas to the processes, parts of the kernel, and for the buffer cache. Process management creates processes and implements process management creates processes and implements multitasking by switching the active process on the processor. Now, at the lowest level, the kernel contains a hardware device driver for each kind of hardware. It supports At the lowest level of kernel contains a hardware device driver for each kind of hardware it supports. Since the world is full of different kind of hardware, the number of hardware device drives is large. There are often many otherwise similar pieces of hardware that differ in how they are controlled by the software. The similarities make it possible to have general classes of drives that support similar operations. Each number of the class has the same interface to the rest of the kernel, but differs in what it needs to be do implement them. Well, all disk drive looks alike to the rest of the kernel, that they all have operations like initialize the drive, read sector n, and write sector n. So this is all about the parts of OS in a brief. So that's all folks for today, and it's a brief of parts of OS. We'll meet with you soon with another video with some practical lessons too. Thanks for being with my channel. If you like my video, please do share, subscribe to my channel, like and comment. At the same time, do not forget to press the bell button so that when I put a new video over here, you'll get the notification of it. So thank you so much for being with me with patience. Thank you for your love and support.